Cheesy the Podcast, presented by Just Cheesy Productions.
Hi there, I'm your host, Fondue. In this week's episode, we talk about chips and cheese.
I love chips.
Nope, not the kind you eat.
Oh.
We talk about Brits and cheese.
Brits and cheese?
We're going to talk a little bit about drinks and cheese.
What? Drinks and cheese?
And of course, we're going to tell a very cheesy joke.
Yeah, we are.
Stay tuned for episode 5, season 2 of Just Cheesy, the podcast. So, Cheesy, do you know how they're going to start tracking Parmesan cheese?
I have no clue.
Chips. Chips.
Like crunchy, yummy, salty snack chips?
Like chips, the micro kind?
What? Microchips?
Yep, that's right, microchips. According to InputMag.com, in an article called They're Putting Tracking Devices in Cheese Now, Parmigiano Reggiano has a protected designation of origin.
What does that mean?
This means in the EU and the UK, it legally must prove its origin before it can be sold.
Okay.
There's an Italy-based industry group called...
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I know. It really is going to be bad.
Oh.
Consorzio
Oh.
del Formaggio
Yeah.
Parmigiano Reggiano. I think I did pretty well. This group sends what they call a master grader to inspect every single wheel of cheese.
A master grader?
If it passes the test, the rind gets certified with an alphanumeric tracking code.
Okay.
The reason they track it is because of fraudulent sales.
Really?
That equates to $2.08 billion,
Whoa.
which is almost the same as the $2.44 billion they have in legitimate sales of Parmigiano Reggiano.
Wow.
And according to the article, they're going to up their game with tiny trackers
Trackers?
as small as a grain of salt.
Ooh, that's tiny.
And that's going to be integrated into the case and label.
Oh.
They say this will help them track the wheels and potentially make it easier in the case of a recall.
What happens if you eat it?
I had the same thought. I have to imagine this is before it gets to the consumer because they don't say what happens if you accidentally eat the chip.
Interesting.
It sure is. Now we're moving along to Brits and cheese.
Brits, like people from Britain?
According to BusinessInsider.com, in an article written by Azmi Harun called Boris Johnson Says People Should Work in Person Again Because When He Works From Home, He Gets Distracted by Cheese.
Cheese?
Yeah, that's right, cheese.
Okay.
Yep, according to this article, the UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson wants Brits to return to work because they get distracted.
By cheese.
He said others might hack off a small piece of cheese instead of staying focused.
Hacking off cheese.
He says, and I quote, "My experience of working from home is you spend an awful lot of time making another cup of coffee
Okay.
and then, getting up, walking very slowly to the fridge, hacking off a small piece of cheese,
Right.
then walking very slowly back to your laptop, then forgetting what you're doing." So I believe in the workplace environment.
Okay.
Apparently, he's never eaten his lunch at his desk.
Right?
I mean, in the article, he did acknowledge that there would be a lot of people who disagree with him,
Don't blame cheese.
but he believes people are more productive at physical work.
Holy cow.
Boris Johnson, not a sponsor.
Nope.
So someone else's ad is going to go right here. We've covered chips, we've covered Brits, and now I think we need to cover drinks.
Sounds weird.
According to ChicagoEater.com, in an article called A Massive Taiwanese Cheese Tea Chain Opens Its First Chicago
I dare
Cafe.
you to say Taiwanese cheese tea chain.
Once slow.
Taiwanese. Yep. Nope.
According to the article by Naomi Waxman, a place in Chicago called Happy Lemon has decided to do Asian cheese teas.
Asian cheese teas.
It seems they make boba or bubble tea.
What's bubble tea?
According to Wikipedia, bubble tea is a tea-based drink that originated in Taiwan in the early 1980s.
Okay.
The drink includes tea,
Right.
and it's accompanied by chewy tapioca balls
Chewy.
or boba.
Okay.
Boba is a tapioca ball. It's edible,
Okay.
it's translucent, and it's
Sure.
from a starch extracted from the cassava root.
Okay.
They range in diameter from about 5 to 10 millimeters.
Wow.
So anyway, according to the article, Chicagoans were pretty familiar with boba, and
Sure.
likewise here where we're located, we also have boba tea.
Yeah, we do. Yum.
But this place decided to come up with Asian cheese tea.
What's it?
This is a sweet and savory cold tea. It's topped with salted milk and cream cheese foam.
What the heck is cream cheese foam?
According to foodsguy.com, cheese foam is made by mixing cream cheese, whipping cream, milk, sugar, salt until it turns frothy, and then you use it as a whipped topping for your favorite drink.
Yum.
I got to admit, when I first saw this article, I thought they were going to say that they were making boba out of balls of cheese and putting that in your tea.
Balls of cheese.
But instead, they make boba tea, then they put a whipped cheese topping on the top with a little salt, and there you have it.
Yum.
So, did you know that producing 1 pound of hard cheese creates 9 pounds of whey?
No way.
And whey is the liquid byproduct that's left when milk is curdled and strained.
No way.
In an article in CNN.com by Rebecca Cairns, a California distillery called Wayward Spirit, spelled W-H-E-Y,
Way.
get it, Wayward Spirit?
No way.
Well, they're taking leftover whey from local cheesemakers and turning it into an alcoholic spirit.
Ooh, nice.
They partnered with Ben & Jerry's to replace the Irish cream liqueur
Ooh.
in their flavor called Dublin Mudslide.
Yummy.
And according to them, that allows them to offer the same taste with less waste.
Nice.
It says here that liquid whey is 95% water, but it contains enough lactose sugar to ferment into alcohol.
Wow.
It does save on water during distillation, but I guess it's a very complex process.
Oh, I bet.
Wayward Spirit contains 40% alcohol, and I guess it goes for $54.95 a bottle.
Holy cow.
Whey is commonly used in animal feed and protein powders.
Okay.
And in the United States alone, over 100 billion pounds of liquid whey was produced in 2020.
100 billion?
According to this article, it seems the bigger manufacturers have an easier time disposing of the waste, but some of
Sure.
the local farmers use it as fertilizer. But they have to be careful because it can pollute water sources.
Oh,
And that's where they're saying that fermenting can be a useful innovation.
nice.
There are other producers besides Wayward. There's Bertha's Revenge Irish Milk Gin and a French vodka producer called Lactilium Velvet, and they use whey as the main ingredient for their spirit base.
No way.
There's also a food scientist at Cornell University. He has a startup called Norway, W-H-E-Y, and he
Way.
makes an alcoholic seltzer from acid whey.
Yum.
Acid whey is actually the byproduct of Greek yogurt.
Okay.
In Australia, there's a cheesemaker that has something called Grand View, E-W-E,
You.
which is creating small batches of whey-based spirits along its sheep cheese products.
Sheep cheese.
I haven't personally tried any of them, but I think there might be a way to give them a chance. Get it? A way to give them a chance?
I'm ready for a joke, Fondue.
In honor of all the dads out there, happy Father's Day.
Yeah.
And here are a couple of extra jokes just for you.
Happy Father's Day.
What did the person say when they ran out of protein powder?
I don't know.
No way. Get it? No way. I thought that one was appropriate for today.
No way.
Okay, here goes.
Okay.
What does a cheese say at graduation?
No clue.
Cheese the day. Get it? Cheese
yeah.
like seize the day.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have a joke, Cheesy?
I could, but you wouldn't believe it.
I camembert.
Ooh, that was Gouda.
Nope. It was a little bit cheesy. Thanks for listening to Just Cheesy the Podcast, Season 2, Episode 5. And happy Father's Day to all you fathers out there.
Cheesy, everybody.